Mood food, what do we mean by that? We're talking about how what we put in our mouths affects our mood. Certainly we've seen this to excess if you've ever indulged in a lot of sugar, or you've been around a child who's indulged in a lot of sugar and they're frenetically running around, and then they sometimes get cranky or very cranky, and you're sorry that you gave them that huge ice cream sundae or whatever it was. So we know about the excess, but do we know about the subtleties of it all? And how does it work? I want to start with what's good for mood and stabilizing for mood, because I think we can all agree we love it when our brains are working well, we don't have any brain fog, our mood is stable, we're happy, and these are things that are quite influenced by what we eat, and as Americans, something we're really not told. We're more told, you're hungry, drive into X, Y, and Z fast food institution and just get whatever. And so let's start with the good stuff. You've maybe heard of omega-3 fatty acids. They're highly associated with cold water fish like salmon, and these are known to be anti-inflammatory, so they tend to kind of quench or gobble up inflammation in the body, and particularly associated with our brain, and therefore that affects hormones. So getting enough omega-3 fatty acids is very important. A couple of grams a day is good. The thing about that is a lot of Americans don't like fish. Sometimes it's hard to find fish that's not pure enough, and it has heavy metals. Fish unfortunately has a lot of mercury with it. Mercury is a neurotoxin, so that's not going to do anything good for your mood. So I do prefer to supplement when it comes to omega-3s, and getting a really good clean supplement where you know they've checked and there's no mercury tainted the oil, and you're just getting that good solid omega-3s, because the American diet tends to be way too high in what's called omega-6s, which are quite pro-inflammatory. So that's the contrary of that. Omega-6s are very easily gotten. Omega-3s you have to work for. And again, I think the supplementation is a really good idea. And on top of that, just good healthy fats in addition to omega-3s. So things like avocado, macadamia nuts, other nuts and seeds. And these are the fats I prefer. There's also nut butters are fun, but what's good about these fats is that they're very stabilizing to your blood sugar, and when you ingest good healthy fat, you feel very satiated. So you don't need a ton of it. I know people hear nuts and go, oh, high calorie. They are high in calorie, but in moderation, they are very satisfying, so you're not craving those simple carbohydrates. And they're very good for your hormone balance, and they're very good for brain health and thereby mood stability. You hear a lot about probiotics and the bacteria in your gut, and you can supplement with probiotics. There's certainly nothing wrong with that. And here at the clinic, when we do certain laboratory tests, we find what imbalances are occurring within the gut of our patients, and certain probiotics are very helpful for that. And then there's some very pointed probiotics with certain conditions like ulcerative colitis and different diagnoses, but general probiotics are fine. Again, I don't have anything to complain about with them unless you take them and you feel worse, because usually that means that you have bacteria too high up in your gut, and instead of low down in the gut, that's where they should be. And then the probiotics are kind of feeding and aggravating those bacteria that have migrated too high up in your gut. So if you're somebody who experiments with a probiotic and you feel worse, you are not alone. It does actually mean something. It doesn't mean you can never have one. But what should you do right away? Because obviously you have to stop that probiotic because it's not suiting you. What you can do is get prebiotics. And so these are things in our food that feed the probiotics in our gut. And that's where healthy, fresh fruits and vegetables come in, along with beans and legumes, things like lentils, etc., that are very rich in fiber. And the fiber found in fresh fruits and vegetables, you want 7 to 9 servings each day. combined, along with beans. Nuts are good too, but the beans and legumes, what they do is they are difficult to digest in a good way. They're called resistant starches, and so they don't skyrocket your blood sugar. Instead, the body has to work to digest them, which again is a good thing, and then they get low down in your gut and they feed the good bacteria. So when we're talking about mood, what we see is that people who are anxious and depressed and have moody type symptoms in a negative way, they literally have different bacteria in their gut than people who don't have these problems. And so we want to, of course, feed the bacteria that are going to keep our mood balanced and keep our hormones balanced, and not keep feeding these guys that are pro-inflammatory and creating the bad mood, the depression, anxiety, etc. And that might sound a little far out, but it's been very well proven. And what we want to do, of course, is have a diet that feeds the good guys and kind of starves the bad guys. We don't want to feed the bad guys that create a lot of these irritable type symptoms. So we've kind of gone through the good food, and what I want to do is step over to the bad side. And on that bad side, we have sugar and bad bacteria, cancer cells, viruses. They all love sugar. That's their preferred source of fuel, so we don't want to feed them. And also refined foods, processed foods, all these non-foods that we as Americans are very exposed to, unfortunately are feeding the wrong bacteria. And not only are they engineered, there are food engineers that engineer our food to be highly addictive. That was proven way back when Super Size Me, the documentary, was done about the food at McDonald's, and they learned, and it's been perpetuated, of course, because if you're somebody who's selling something to people, you want them to continue to want it. And there are certain things in these products that I want to say food in parentheses, because it's not real food, and they cause you to crave, they cause your brain to crave, they act like opiates in the brain, so you get addicted. It's really an unfortunate occurrence of these processed, not real foods, and they definitely can affect your mood in a very negative way. So those are the bad guys. And then non-food, but something very, very helpful for mood, is exercise. So for you and the whole family, your kids, getting into good habit of exercise really lifts mood, raises your endorphins, it raises your serotonin, and this is very well documented. You can start with 20 minutes a day. You can get up to 40 minutes several times a week, as many times a week as you can would be great. Anything you like to do. We can refine it later, but any kind of movement you enjoy doing over a sustained period of time, even if it's a combination of things, that's what I want you to do. And then hydrate. You need enough water every day, purified water, 64 ounces, which is 8 glasses, and you want that throughout the day to help get rid of toxins, get rid of bad chemicals that have come your way, and you will see a difference. You honestly will. You give it 2-3 weeks, you will see a difference. Now, if you've had a situation with mood imbalance that's been going on for a while, and this isn't enough, I understand this is not the answer for everyone. It's a really good start, but we are here for you. The Root Cause Medical Clinics, there's one in California, there's one in Florida, and we also do telemedicine across the country. So reach out, that's what we're here for. We do telemedicine across the country, and we're very good in this area. So I wanted to give you some good food for thought as far as mood. And I hope this was helpful. Please share this video with friends, subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and have a great day.